For the past couple of weeks, I have theorized that maybe the best bet for the Heat this offseason is to make an attempt to trade for one Zion Williamson from the New Orleans Pelicans. I've said it's a high risk, high reward type trade, but sometimes you got to risk a lot to get a lot. So we turn to Ira Winderman from the Sun Sentinel at Ira Heatbeat. He was recently asked by a guy named Andy, is Zion Williamson off the board? So before I give you the answer, a little bit of background on Zion Williamson. We all know, very talented player, can average around 25 points a game. His availability is a question mark, and now he has a lawsuit pending against him for a potential rape from an ex, I wouldn't say girlfriend, but I'd say an ex companion. So there was a relationship there, but there are some accusations. So with that being said, is Zion Williamson off the board? Ira writes, first, it's not as if the Pelicans ever formerly had Zion Williamson on the trade market, which is true. They've never actually had Zion Williamson on the trade market. We're just saying, I think it's a good idea if Pat Riley maybe kicked the tires on it. The Pelicans went as far as have him represent them at last month's draft lottery. And the current case that has come to light is a civil case, not a criminal case. So the government's not coming after Zion Williamson. This is an ex-lover or ex-companion that's coming after him or accusing him of whatever it may be. But yes, figure on all the personnel speculation regarding Zion to be tabled for a while. As it is, injuries and availability created pause. Anyway, with the situation at the moment practically toxic from a personal standpoint, if not from these latest allegations, the thought that Zion very much could be in play in light of the Pelicans' makeover of their front office and seeming desirable for a fresh start. So Ira's saying right now, pause on Zion Williamson, but it's a very interesting case. Zion not on the market. Once again, we're saying that I think he should be a target for this team because he might need a fresh start. Pelicans have brand new management. They've fired their general manager. They've hired a new manager.
Joe Dumars, right?
Joe Dumars is in the house now. He might want to say, look, we're rebuilding this team. We're having a new image. We're tired. And there is some lethargy around Zion Williamson. I talked to Big Lynn, my brother Paul Day all day. They say he don't play. We don't exactly need him.
Mom said he don't play. That's wild.
His talent is good, but what's the point? So there's some lethargy with the fan base. So the availability's been weird.
So you're saying, okay, so the fan base is a little tired of him.
Yes.
They're tired of his act.
And
are they tired of his act the same way maybe Dolphins fans are tired of Tyreek's act? Or maybe the way certain people might have been tired of Jimmy's act? Or let's just keep it in basketball. Are they tired of Zion's weight issues? Unavailability to play in games, or they're tired of that and they want to move on.
I think the weight issues are a joke that's made in this market and not made in New Orleans, which is unfair to Zion Williamson. First of all, I don't think those jokes are funny. Second of all, it's about his availability. So I would compare it more to how some of the Dolphins fan base is tired of Tua getting hurt a lot and not playing.
Yeah, but look what they happen when they see Tua. When they start, he becomes a patat. They don't like patats.
Okay.
Patats is big and then Creole.
I understand.
Fat. They don't like that. So, when he start becoming a patat, you gotta slow down. And there's a lot of reasons to gain weight in New Orleans. I mean, the food is just remarkable down there.
Yeah, Heat Cult let us know that it was recently named #1 cuisine city in America.
It's probably going to be in the top 5 for the rest of its life.
There's a lot of question marks with Zion Williamson. Even before this whole civil case that was brought up against him, there was talk about he likes the women, he likes the food, he likes the lifestyle. If there's a place as bad, if not worse than New Orleans to be,
come on,
Miami would be right up there with all of the above.
He likes Astron. He likes food.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's a man.
But his availability is the question mark. And the other question mark, once again, new management. Do they want to cook with their own groceries? Do they want to see what they can get? Do they want to reset the tone of the New Orleans Pelicans? So with all that being said, it's perfect. Now, here's the other argument, Vlad. Heat culture. A guy that has a pending rape case, a guy that has injury problems, maybe doesn't fit that Heat culture. But a guy that can score 25 points is a guy that can help Heat culture. Is this one of these things where Pat Riley says, we know he has his problems, but this is a reclamation project, quote unquote, reclamation project,
it's
where we want him to buy in and this young man can be the man that he's always supposed to have been in the NBA?
I think it's one of the things where the talent and the coach and the environment is so scintillating, but the thought of it, you think it's gonna work. You think that what he needs is to be
structure.
Structure.
He needs structure, which he's obviously not getting in New Orleans.
Here's the pot.
I've worked with both.
Let's
worked with both organizations.
Let's go. This is why his patat ass needs to come to Miami, right?
He needs a change of scenery.
Change of scenery. The last time it seemed to me that he was in some type of some semblance of discipline, order, regimen.
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
1 year at Duke.
And why is that?
Because Coach Krzyzewski don't play that game.
And I would say, what Coach K is to college basketball is what Pat Riley is to the NBA.
That would be agreeable.
And he has a SPO.
Yes.
He has a UD.
He has an organization and a coach that
he has a zone.
Can nurture the better parts of his quality, as opposed to a Pelicans organization that, I'll be honest, can't find its elbows from its you-know-what.
Yeah, bring his ass on.
I think it would be best for everyone. Now, you're going to have to give us Khalil Ware. You're going to have to give us some draft picks.
This is why I need to talk to you, because you're the guy that I feel for you. You're like, you're like, you know what? You're like Jean Grey right now. You're stuck between a Cyclops and a Wolverine. You know what I mean? You're a diehard Pelicans fan as well as a diehard Miami Heat fan, but you're saying that you feel Zion stay with the Pelicans has passed. It's expiration date. We always say everything has an expiration date. It's past its time, and it's time for him to a new destination,
new start, best for everybody.
And Miami Heat, you being the fan that you are of the Heat, knowing that they need a star, is knowing that a guy like Zion would fit in that culture.
If he buys in,
perfect dude, you should negotiate the deal.
I think I should. I think I got it right now.
I think you should do it.
Khalil Ware, Duncan Robinson to make the money work, a couple of draft picks, and make it happen.
Yeah, man.
It's a high risk, high reward for Miami. I'm going to admit that.
Be a little Carmine.
This can work fantastically for Miami. It could also go the other way, where you kind of get a Terry Rozier situation. When I say Terry Rozier situation, he might just spin off. But I'm willing to take the risk. I know how good Zion Williamson is.
Well, first of all, he's not going to spin off, because if Riley got a Zion, Riley would call every nightclub, strip club,
shut him down,
restaurants, like, and then there'll be a lot of times when Zion's going to eat, and all of a sudden what he wants to order is, we don't have any more, Mr. Williamson, and we sold left, or it's been ordered by another company or another person. And it's not really that. It's just they were told by Riley and the Heat, don't serve Zion this, that, the other. But he needs that. He needs some type of regimen. It makes sense.
I think it's the best thing.
It does make sense for both organizations.
Yep.
Yes, because you're not going to compete in the West right now if you're New Orleans. You're not. Nope, you're not. And you're not going to compete for the next 3 to 4 years.
That is true, with or without Zion.
With or without Zion, because the way OKC is developed and the fact that they got a stockpile of draft picks, they're good for a good decade. Because Sam Presti, even though he needs to win a title, for all the great accolades and admiration that he gets and the respect that I give him, still hasn't won a ring. So he needs to win one, which more than likely he probably will, whoever was coming out of the East. But for the New Orleans Pelicans, it is time. What is this, year 5 with Zion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 years. I think you know what you got. It's better to get rid of something right now and get a lot of value for it before everybody up. You don't get no value for it, and you're not able to move that piece.
Yep. We'll see what happens, though. Right now, it's kind of a quandary because of the whole private situation and, of course, his availability. And, of course, he's also not being shopped, apparently, but everybody has their price.